So, ladies and gentlemen, Joe Budden may have just dropped some major insight on the battle rap scene and the realities, the harsh realities of what battle rappers actually make per battle. But before I get into that, make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button. My name is Mfasis. I am a rapper and music producer, and I do podcast episodes like the one you're watching right now. So, to get back to Joe Budden here, I don't think he needs much of an introduction at this point. He was a artist who was very lyrical, and like most lyrical artists, I'm a lyrical artist myself. Like most lyrical artists, they tend to really like battle rap. Of course, they respect it. They dabble in battle rapping a little bit themselves, and so Joe Budden has even had a battle with Hollow the Don a few years ago. But Joe Budden's main success has come in the once he retired from rapping and focused all of his energy on podcasting and being a media personality, and he's taken off obviously. So a lot of the things he says kind of catches people's attention now. And one of the main things that he says that caught my attention, as well as many other people, is the fact that he says that most battle rappers are capping whenever they talk about how they're making like 50 grand a show or 50 grand a battle. I'm not too surprised by that, of course, because people exaggerate in general. So it's like when you hear them say certain numbers, you got to take it all with a grain of salt. But at the same time, I know this may catch some people by surprise because there's been so many battle rappers to say they would make it so much. But I'm not surprised that a lot of battle rappers are significantly exaggerating their earnings per battle, because we also have to be realistic here when it comes to the popularity of battle rap, right? Battle rap is an extremely niche sector of hip hop. It's a very specific niche in hip hop that has never truly been mainstream like that. The closest battle rap has ever gotten to be mainstream was like when Drake was kind of dabbling in hanging out at all the like the battle rap events like King of the Dot and stuff like that. And I remember at that time there was even people saying like, "Oh my gosh, what if Drake battles like Charlie Clips or something like that?" And that's hilarious in hindsight. Obviously, once you hear about all the people ghostwriting for Drake, but either way, still that was probably the closest battle rap ever got to being mainstream. And I remember this because I lived through it. Obviously, this was around the early to mid 2010s. This is when I was still in high school, so I was paying very close attention to those type of things. That moment, and maybe you could say when Hollow the Don and Joe Budden battled, that may have also been a moment where battle rap almost went mainstream, kind of, because it was like a big deal. I know some people are gonna troll and be like, "What about 8 Mile?" Listen, 8 Mile was a movie, guys. I mean, in real life, those other moments that I mentioned a few seconds ago are probably the closest battle rap has ever gotten to being legit mainstream. And the problem with that is when something's not mainstream, it does become extremely hard to maximize how much you can profit from it. And I'm not saying battle rap is not profitable. I think it is to an extent. I think it is, but there's also a lot of overhead costs. I would imagine that the promoters and the battle companies are having to deal with, whether it's paying for videographers, photographers, video editors, all these, and then actually having to pay the battle rappers themselves, all the different battle rappers on a particular card, all of these extra things that people may overlook. These things may play a role in why most battle rappers are not gonna realistically make 50,000 a show. Like that's not super realistic. You've even had some people who have insider information on the battle rap scene who have even confirmed that yes, most of these battle rappers are not making 100K in a show or 50K in a show or even like 20K in a show. That's not what's happening for most of these people. Most of them, they might get a few thousand here, and it depends on their level of popularity, but most people are not touching the amount of money that they claim they were touching in previous generations. Not even in the 2010s. And in the 2010s was when battle rap was at its peak in popularity. That's where it was almost mainstream. And even back then, most of these guys and girls were not getting that much money for these battles. And And that's also, quick side note, that's also why I think even as a lyrical rapper, you kind of lean more towards just trying to make songs, because like that's just a tough feeling to put so much effort into a battle. And even if it's a classic battle, you can only really perform that once. Whereas, if you make one good hit song, that hit song might feed you for the rest of your life, but uh, as far as battle rappers lying or exaggerating how much they get paid for their battles, I'm not surprised, of course, because so much of entertainment is built around smoke and mirrors and selling people the dream that people are more lit than they are. And people are very quick to blame the artist themselves and clown the artist themselves for doing that. But like I've been saying in previous videos, I have a lot of smoke for fans and the audience in 2025. And in my opinion, the audience needs to take a bigger chunk of the blame for why artists feel the need to go out here and flex and lie about how much money they actually have. Because here's the thing, most people in the audience only want to pay attention to what they think is already popular. They don't want to actually, it's like that old expression, people know the price of everything and the value of nothing. If you approach them just as like a regular humble man or woman just trying to just deliver some dope bars, people will just ignore you, look past you, just call you a bum and dismiss you. Ironically enough, people want to be sold the dream. As much as they clown these celebrities for faking their lifestyles and making their lifestyles seem more grandiose than it actually is, most people want to be sold that lie. That's a fact. Because if you approach somebody just real and just approach them with a level of transparency, and you just don't try to exaggerate how well you're doing for yourself, many of these people won't respect it. I'll give you an example. Let's say I approach somebody wearing this jacket. This is a very plain jacket. If I approach somebody wearing this plain jacket and I give them business advice about different industries that they could get into for income, as well as passive income, as well as different investment vehicles that may go under the radar for the masses that they should look into, most people will, instead of them actually trying to listen to my information as I take my time to articulate every single aspect of this area that I'm explaining is top tier when it comes to investing in yourself, many people, they'll dismiss that, and they'll start to like shit test you and just try to poke holes in your argument or in your advice and say, oh, well, what about this? Well, why don't you have a car? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Why don't you have a mansion? Why don't you? They'll just start randomly just throwing random stuff out there, all in the name of trying to throw you off and embarrass you and dunk on you. And even if you calmly respond to all of those silly questions, they'll still just at the end dismiss you and say, well, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Little do they know, in this scenario, I'm a millionaire trying to give them valuable advice, but they're focused on the fact that I'm wearing a plain jacket. Whereas on the flip side, if somebody who's a scammer approaches them, who just has a bunch of flashy clothes, some jewelry, pictures on a boat with some models, they will sit there and they will listen to that person talk in circles, not give them any real answers or explanation on how they can make that person some money, and they will still buy in 100%. 9 out of 10 people will buy into that scammer 100%, just because, again, most people are dumb, and most people, they want to be lied to, they want to be fed the dream, so they want you to look like you're above them from a materialistic standpoint. As much as people pretend like they like humble people, they don't really like that, to be honest with you. That's not really what they like. It is what it is. So, and the same thing applies with celebrities, right? Like, when these celebrities tell y'all the truth or show you guys what's really going on with them and the struggles they may be dealing with, y'all clown them, you make fun of them. Case in point, think about Roscoe Dash a few years ago, where Roscoe Dash got caught driving driving for Lyft, right? He was about to go pick somebody up for Lyft, and the person recognized his picture and put him on blast on the internet, and people started clowning him because he worked a regular job, because he was doing gig work. Like, even the guy that played Alvin on the Cosby Show, the actor, somebody saw him working at Trader Joe's, and they took a video of him without his permission. He didn't want to be recorded. They took the video anyway of him, and then and put it up online, and everybody made fun of him, just clowned him. Instead of people respecting these dudes for trying to go make an honest living once the money from the entertainment slowed up, what did people do? These fucking idiots started to clown this person, clown these guys. And then y'all wonder why these celebrities try to fake it till they make it, because they know most of y'all are so damn stupid. Not everybody, but they know most fans, aka consumers, because most people aren't real fans, they're just consumers. But they know most consumers, they want to be fed the dream. They want to be fed the smoke and mirrors that you're just this person that's bigger than life. And the same, to get back to battle rap, the same thing applies to battle rap. They want to believe that you're getting this crazy amount of money from these battles and you're doing so well. They don't want to hear, if you be honest with them and tell them that you're only making like $1,500 to do this 30-minute battle where you're just tearing into your opponent lyrically, they're gonna laugh at you. It is what it is, you know. Let me know what your thoughts are. Are you surprised that it's been kind of put out there that battle rappers don't make a whole lot of money from their battles? And do you think it's necessary for celebrities to fake it till they make it because fans